Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining in. We are gonna be bringing you guys a very interesting program today. As you all already know, our special guest today is Onyeka Onwenu, and I will bring in her in soon. And while we're doing that, please go ahead and invite everyone that you think should be on this program, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and you don't want to miss that. And if your friend knows that you listen to this program without them, they will not forgive you. So make sure that you invite your friend. Make sure that you invite them to this program. It's with deep pleasure and a sense of gratitude that I want to welcome our guest for today's show. If you do not know this person, you should go back to bed and continue sleeping. But I know you know her. I know that you also find out a lot of things that you don't know about her today. But please welcome by audio call our guest for today, in the person of my auntie, my star, the queen of the silver screen, and every other thing, Madam Onyeka Onwenu. Thank you so.
Hello. It's late afternoon here,
Okay.
so I'm gonna say good afternoon,
Yeah.
good morning, good night, whatever suits anybody. Catch it. Glad
Yes.
to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For me, it's been it's taken a lifetime trying to make this happen, and I'm so glad. And now that it's even happened, I'm
Wow.
trying to get myself composed enough to do this. So just forgive me.
I'm sure that you'll be fine. Just go on.
Okay. So for just like I mentioned before, to so many people you mean so many things. Okay, and I saw the book. What is trending right now is the book that you put out there. I mean, it's been there, but it's beginning to trend all over again. So I'm just gonna start from there, and then we'll see how it goes. So just tell me about this book that you put out, and why it's beginning to trend again now. Tell us a little bit about your book.
No, we only put it out on October 1st, so it really hasn't been around for long. And when SARS came along, we just stopped everything and focused on that. So, but by word of mouth, and people are quite excited about the book, and I'm excited that they are excited
So,
because it means that we've done a good job in telling the stories we wanted to tell. I'm very grateful, Scott, for the opportunity to write my memoir. I'm grateful. It took me 3 years. It was difficult, but it had to be done. I felt that I was the only one who could really tell my story, and I went ahead to tell my truth. That's all.
wow. So tell us a
It
little.
covers virtually every area of my life. It covers every area of my life. And, some people like to say that, oh, things that they didn't even expect that I would ever talk about, but I did talk about them. It has to be authentic if it's your memoir. I mean, you can't close this one off. There were some explanations that needed to be put out there and to put the story straight and not what people have been speculating. So that's what happened. But it's not a kiss and tell. We don't do kiss and tell. And I tell people that maybe when I write my second memoir, there will be other areas that I might want to touch on that I didn't do in this particular one. I mean, my life is not over, so God give us strength, God give us good health. and prosperity, we shall do more.
Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna ask you to tell us everything inside the book, but I mean, in one sentence, you said it covers everything about your life, and the title is
I wouldn't say everything. I wouldn't say everything. Nobody talks about everything. But, those very personal areas that I had avoided dealing with in the past, because quite honestly, there was no need. There was no need for people to know whether I was married or not. It was nobody's business. It had nothing to do with my work on stage. And I kept it like that. And now was the time to talk about it. And I felt that I needed to be true to myself and I needed to be authentic. And so those were some of the areas that, out of necessity, came up. I wanted to be able to tell my story and not someone else telling it for me. Those were those peculiar, very personal areas that ordinarily I refuse to go into, because and I mean, it's a bit cagey the way that I've done it. I've talked about the areas that people needed to know about, and it cannot be everything, nor would I want it to be everything. Some things will always remain the same.
awesome, awesome. So, guys, I just wanted to start from there and deal with that, and then get into our interview proper. The book is on Amazon. It's there's an audio version of the book. It's on Hoopia. It's on UBook. It's on audiobooks. It's on BookBeat. On Nigeria, you can get your hard copy through Jumai. We're gonna put up the link to that book so that you will not have any reason not to get your own copy. You see, I like to promote things like this. You guys know me very well. When people are legends, when people have paid their dues, I will do anything to promote it. So there you go. We promoted this book and we'll keep promoting the book. Now,
Thank you.
Auntie,
I'd just like to quickly say something which is quite relevant.
Go ahead.
At this time,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't understand. This is a book that I wanted to put out 2 years ago, and for some reason the Lord kept delaying it. I would think that I'm finished, and He would remind me of a whole different area that I needed to write about. Literally, last year November I was done, and He said no, and it took another 1 year. Sorry, by October I was done. It took another 1 year for it to come out. There is a reason. I looked at what was happening with SARS. There's a reason. I'm so proud of our young people. I have to say this. I am so proud that they stood up finally and said enough. Never mind the way it went, but they said it's enough. And us, the older generations, my generation was deprived of really playing a leadership role in this country, because during our time when we came up, it was just the military interregnum, so we had to wait. And our time is nearly gone, but we did our best. And some of us in our personal lives, in our music, in our art, we drew attention to some of these issues. Nigeria's Squandering of Riches was a film that I had written and presented on BBC and NTA, BBC NTA production.
Yeah.
It cost me a lot. It cost me a lot in my career, because I was seen as, how old was I? I think I was 29 years old at the time. And I just started my career, and I was marked. It was like, look at her. Who gave her the audacity to go and do a program like this in photos, is talking about it? And now that film is back again. And I'm asking God, why? Because it saddens me. It saddens me that over 35 years ago, we did this, and it's still relevant. So I stopped worrying about when the book was going to come out. I just said, Lord, you will make it come out when you think it should come out. And He said October 1st. Nigeria at 60. If we can't get it together, if we can't listen to our young people, hear them, learn from them, and with a sincere heart come together, no tribal, no this thing, nothing, except a love for this wonderful country that God has given to us. If we cannot do that now, oh my goodness, it's all over.
I know.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Honestly, I watched that your documentary on BBC. Actually, I saw it this year, and it shocked me. It was like you did it right now, because excuse me, everything you talked about it.
Yeah.
There's even the squandering of riches, everything you talked about then. It's just like it was happening, like you did the production right now. And so I will ask everybody to later on
Except
after.
it's even worse.
Yes,
Except
it's worse.
It's
worse.
It's worse now.
Everybody,
I'm
guys,
sorry, it is.
you need to go back on YouTube and see some of the documentaries that I call her Auntie Onyeka, because we grew up with your song, we grew up with you. You know, we crushed on you a lot. We wish we had a way of writing to you in secondary school.
It's quite natural. It's quite natural.
I hope my wife is not. I hope my wife is not listening now. Anyways, so the title of your book is My Father's Daughter, and you've talked a lot about your father, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah. So before you went, I said in secondary school, I and my friends, and we used to crush on you, and I said I hope my wife wasn't listening.
Your wife understands. It's what little boys do, and little girls too. They crush on the pop stars who are there.
Oh my goodness!
Very natural.
Oh my
Of
goodness!
course, we had our own crushes during my time.
You know,
of course we all did.
You know, during your time, like right now, you have like 20, 40, 50 songs coming out then. In those days, no. When it came out, like songs like One Love, Keep Us Together, and Munagi Gebi.
Yes.
It lasted forever. So it was there for a year, 2 years. That was everybody.
Yes.
There was no other song.
Yes.
And then it was either you or Chris Okotie or Jidobi or Felix Liberty. You know.
Yes. Oh, you should read my book. I documented all those things.
Oh my God.
You should read the book.
Oh,
Yes.
it's very
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
I have a
We
video.
soundtracks to our lives.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a video of. I'm gonna just show a little bit of it, so guys, because a lot of people don't even know what we're talking about. So I'm gonna show a little bit of it, and so guys, this is the documentary, one of the documentaries that Onyeka Onwenu did. I'm gonna play it for you.
May be involved.
In the early hours of December 31st, 1983, a well-organized military coup under the leadership of Major General Buhari took place in Nigeria. It was not unwelcome by most of our people, and it was not unexpected. Our economy was in a mess, and yet we are not only the biggest country in Black Africa, we are, or should be, one of the richest. My name is Onyeka Onwenu. A few weeks before the coup, the BBC and Nigerian television asked me to report as a Nigerian television journalist on the situation in my country.
Okay, the reason I just showed you guys that teaser is so that you know that we are not just talking about just a diva or just a beautiful face. We're talking about people who talk the talk and they walk the walk. We're not talking about slay queen, just slay queen, nothing to show. We're talking about slay queen and like.
Hey, I'm a slay queen. Mind yourself, I am a slay queen.
No, but not just slay queen. This is slay queen with like This is the real slay queen. So
I slay with my brain.
exactly, that's what we're talking about. So this is the real slay queen, guys. Now,
Oh my God.
honestly, I don't. You were so loaded. Like, there's so many pages of you. I can't wait to read that your book, and everything you did so well. When
I
you
tried.
acted so well. When you were
I
a
tried.
journalist, the only kind of journalist that I can compare with you, and that's why you can't take bullshit from anybody. I mean, I don't even think you
No,
could have
right?
worked for anybody. It's people like,
No.
no, you couldn't have worked for any government establishment, or people like Omoyele
No,
Sowore,
didn't work out.
Dele Giwa. Those were the kind of journalists
Yes.
in your
Yeah.
league.
Yeah.
But let me go back a little
Yeah.
bit. We're gonna be going. We'll go back. We'll go forth. We're just gonna do it random like that. Let's talk a little bit about your mother. And with that,
Yeah.
I want you to take us through your upbringing. How was it? Where were you
I think
born?
you don't go, get
No,
the
I
book
know,
and
I
read
know,
the
I
book,
know.
but
Just
you're making me talk about what's in the book. No, I'm now distilling the whole book for
no.
you. In fact, just
Okay.
lay it all out in front of you, summarize it all for you.
No. Just give us the supporting theme. Give us
In fact,
just give us a teaser.
I'm
Yeah.
just a simple girl who um, you know, grew up with tragedy of sorts because I lost my father when I wasn't even 5 years old.
Wow.
Almost 5, yes. And he was a dad who loved me I don't know how I can describe it. It's only a daughter's love for her father and her father's love for her. Ours was a unique, we were soulmates. It was
Yeah.
an extraordinary relationship. And though it lasted only for a short while, it was a relationship that had seen me through and given me the confidence to be who I am.
Yeah.
And I can say the same, that I was very fortunate to have a mom who was just an incredible human being, an artist in her own right, a show woman, a very dedicated person in any and everything that she did, a woman of integrity.
Yeah.
And so I picked from both of what God gave me from both of them. So whatever I am today is really the upbringing that I've had. My mother primarily, because my father died so early, but my father had given me enough love in
Yeah.
5 years
Mm.
to last me a lifetime. It's something that is unforgettable.
Wow.
You would not appreciate it until you really read the book. But I'm happy that many fathers are resonating with it. Many daughters, even sons, are resonating with it. Loving your parents, appreciating them. I took care of my mom. She lived with me for the last 10 years of her life. And she was quite a character, and she's a tough woman, and we're both tough. And we both love the same man, my father. And we both knew it. And we would fight, but when she needs me to do something extraordinary, she said, "Munyanya." I said, now you know I am my father's wife. Have you now considered she will laugh? But guess what? She gets whatever it is that she wants.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of relationship, but it was a relationship filled with responsibility. I had to take care of my father's family. I still am doing that.
Yes.
I do it with pride. I do it with joy. I do it with great satisfaction. For the love he gave me, yes, I do it. And I would continue to do it.
Awesome. I'm showing our viewers. A picture a random picture that I took with you in Nikon Hilton. That was it was a choral thing that they did. I had come in from Toronto,
Yes.
and I
The
ran
wife
into.
of the Italian ambassador had
Yes,
organized something.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I remember.
But I think it was shortly after you lost Mama, and
Yes.
it was, yeah, you were just like, the conversation was all about her. You were in that place, but you were not there, and that really stood out
Yeah.
to me. You talked a lot
Yeah.
about your mom.
I still miss her.
Yeah, I know.
I still
know.
miss her.
I know.
And the thing I want to warn everybody: if you have your mom, alive, eh?
Yes.
Go and hug her up. Oh.
I know.
Because let me tell you, when she goes, I don't care how old. My mom was nearly 93.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just never thought she would die. And she had gone to the village to stay with her sister because she was kind of lonely in Lekki where we lived if I'm not around.
Yeah.
And this or that person is not around. So she went and she stayed for 8 months and said, come back. No. Her sister was still around and she fell ill. So now we couldn't move her back to because if she was with me in Lagos, like that woman who hit 100, I wasn't ready for her to go.
Okay.
I wasn't.
It's okay.
But it was God's time. Well, what am I going to do? But it hit me. Oh my God.
It's okay.
Let me just warn you, if you're listening to this, your mom is alive, go and get her a sweet, sweet present and tell her that you love her. Moms are something else. They're great. They're the best.
I can understand. I had that kind of relationship with my mom. I've always told...
Oh, we fought. Oh, I fought with my mom. Oh, we knocked heads. But, trust me. Both of us, and we understood each other. We knew what it was about. We fought. We made up. But I had a lot of respect and love for her as a person. Not just as my mother. As a person that I got to know that she was. For what she had gone through in life and had raised 5 children and 10 other children belonging, nieces and nephews. My mom was just too much.
It's okay.
Too much.
I understand.
God bless her.
I understand.
God bless every mom.
I
God
know.
bless every mom.
See, Auntie Onyeka.
And every dad. Sure, you know that the book is for fathers. So
I know.
when I talk about mothers, please don't be jealous, okay? Because the book is about it's about the love of a daughter and a father. So
I know.
Don't be jealous.
I
Everybody
know.
gets their
I
share.
know. But talking about moms, that's one of the things that actually drew me to you, because I had a mom who, when I looked at you, I saw a lot of similarities with my mom. My mom was so passionate about everything she did. She's the kind of person who loves without holding back, and she would just break into songs in the house, and she would sing songs that sounded like what you used to sing, you know, like Kaide Nanke Bishop you know, this kind of so when you sang, it reminded me of my mom. And then you told stories about the war, about the Civil War. And I know my mom told me how I was born at Queen Elizabeth Hospital then, and they had attacked. I've told this story a lot of times. They had attacked the hospital, and my mom was still. They were actually stitching her up. I had been delivered through cesarean operation. They were stitching her up, and the planes raided the place. The doctors, they all ran away and left her. She rolled off the table, clutching to her stomach, and went to where the crib where they kept me, dragged me down and lay over me while that whole shelling lasted. And then the doctors came back. So when you talk about the war, I'm a child of the war, and you know, it resonates well with me. And on that note, I want you to tell us your experience with the Nigerian Civil War. You know, the Biafran Nigerian war.
What did you bring me here to do? To just be telling you chapter by chapter.
No.
So now when
the only thing you give us, see.
You and who?
What you're doing is, I want you to tease us to go and buy the book. I'm giving you an opportunity to tease us.
No, it does talk about the war experience.
Yeah.
Because for a long time we couldn't.
Yes.
You couldn't talk about Biafra. It was it was a word you couldn't even mention.
Yeah.
So I was really happy at the time when we did Half of the Yellow Sun. Now there was a film, though they tried to suppress it.
Yeah.
Now there was a film that in some way addressed the issue, and now people were writing books and people are talking about their experiences, and there are very personal experiences.
Yes.
And mine was very personal. To a girl who had just got 14, 15, 16, 17, that's your early life of becoming a person. And so my innocence was plucked away from me.
Wow.
Suddenly you're dealing with dead bodies, you're carrying dead babies, you're sewing up, you're listening to soldiers who are crying because there's no anesthesia to deaden the pain when they're being sewn up, and you're washing their clothes, you're washing their bandages because you can't get new ones. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The things that we saw. So my innocence was taken away, and my home was taken away from me, because after the war, I could not go back to Port Harcourt, where my father had served as deputy mayor and as their representative of the Port Harcourt constituency at the Federal House. Even though he was from Arontizo, we were living in Port Harcourt, and my father was those who built up Port Harcourt. He was principal of Benitonia High School. After the war, the street that was named after him was taken away and changed to Harold Wilson. Our home was seized, abandoned property. So the war, for some of us, never ended. It wasn't as if, oh, it's all over now, let me go back to my other life. We couldn't go back and live in Port Harcourt. I know that there are people who don't want to talk about this, and I needed to talk about it. I really needed to unburden. I needed to, because at some point we're all going to have to forgive each other. Whatever you say, because this people, this Yoruba, this nonsense. We're all God's children. At some point we're all going to look at each other and say, you know what? For whatever role that I played, for whatever I didn't understand before, I am sorry. Can we start now to treat each other better, to have better understanding and appreciation, to realize that we're all equal here. We are the Nigerians.
You know, Auntie Onyeka,
can we do that?
Yeah, there was no personification. You can't get a better personification of what you're talking about than in the SARS protest, the end SARS protest, where you saw young people say, you know what, we're moving on from all of these narratives that brought us to where we are today, and we are charting a new course for ourselves. And they all binded together, and they, in one voice, they said, this is what we want.
It was admirable. It was just incredible.
Yeah,
it was incredible. That's the spirit. That is the spirit. I liked the idea that there was no, oh, you are from here. You see, we are young people. We are the owners of this country. And if we allow these older people, they are ruining it. That's what they're saying to us. They want to take back their destiny. Now, and I see them forging a new Nigeria where this tribalism thing comes to an end. And our young people all have equal opportunities to strive and do well with their lives, opportunities and everything made available to them. Because we live in a land that is blessed. Why should some people be the ones to really enjoy Nigeria, and the rest of us are just working round the clock for them to step on our heads and spit in our faces? I applaud the young people for saying, no, we don't want to live like that. I have fought it all my life, all my adult life, all my career. No, I'm not going to live like that. I'm not going to accept mediocrity. I'm not going to accept this. I'm going to strive my best. That's how I've lived. It's not easy, but I take pride in it.
That's right.
And anywhere, anytime, I can hold my head up high and say, hey, listen, I tried.
I never saw the part of you that I saw in the BBC interview between it had Ohaneze president on, and I think this lawyer too was there. Tony Nadi was there, but oh my goodness, you were hot and smoking, and I was like, who is this? I never saw you like that. And that, I would just tell people to go and watch that interview. We're not going to exhaust, there's so much to talk about here. So what we're doing here is just giving you guys teasers to who Onyeka Onwenu is, because a lot of you just know her as a singer, an artist. No. She was more there was more going on than just the artist with a beautiful face that you saw on your screen. Now, Auntie Onyeka, like I will always want to call you, I know you have very big connections. Is there
I
a
do.
way that you can tell our president or the people that are advising him? Did you just see the list that they brought out? Listing the very people that are sustaining or trying to do good to our image outside the country, our stars, people who are. Did you see the list they just brought out and branding them
I saw
criminals?
it.
Who is
I
advising
saw
these
it.
people? What do you have to say to that?
Sometimes you have to say that you let things play out the way they're supposed to play out, because God always has a reason.
Okay.
And one of my favorite quotations from the Bible is that all things will work together for our good. Those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose.
Okay.
Let it be.
Okay.
Let them think that whatever they're doing now, that they have gotten the young people, they have broken their back. It's only going to make them stronger and better. Because you see, they are not. We're not going to give up on this country.
Good.
It's God that owns this country, and it will be unto Nigeria according to his word, according to his will, according to his way.
Amen. Now
That
let's
has
talk.
given me strength.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about your education, because people are wondering. Did Onyeka just wake up and just start singing and that's all she did? But I know it wasn't just that. So tell us about your education. It will be
Well,
interesting to know.
I was born into the family of an educationist, so there's no way. And one of the things that my mom kept faith with was that his children, she would honor him by ensuring that his children were well trained, and she did that to the best of her ability. And thank God for his grace, because when you get the opportunity to attend some of these schools I attended, you have no reason to fail. You just have no reason to fail, and God has not allowed me to fail. And I attended very good schools, and schools that helped make me who I am today.
I'm
talking
sure
about schools.
when I see
Yeah.
you and the way you behave and the things, the achievements that you have attained, I suspect you must have attended a particular school. Which university did you attend? Maybe that might just expose one or two things
No,
in Nigeria.
I went to Wellesley, which is in Wellesley, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Um, mm.
Oh, you
So
didn't attend any university in
that
Nigeria. We always thought you went to
no, I
Soka.
didn't. I didn't finish. I didn't even finish school first. My
Oh,
sister spirited us away after the war. I had just done 1 year
oh,
of class 4, and my sister spirited us away to America. I wrote an essay which got me into a prep school,
wow,
which is a preparatory school for for colleges like Wellesley and Harvard and blah 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 blah.
wow.
And so I had that privilege. They read my essay, and my essay was about the Civil War, my experience, and they were blown over, and they took me in. And from there, I spent 1 year there, and entered Wellesley College. Did 4 years at Wellesley, and I did my master's at the New School for Social Research in New York City. That's the New School. That's what it's called, the New School. And I studied media. Oh, sorry. At Wellesley, I did international relations and communication. Graduate school, I did media studies at the New School, and I was working at the UN at the time and doing my master. But after my master's, I wasn't crazy about the doctorate thing and all that, so I stopped there. And for my family, that was okay. You want to sing? You can sing now. At least you have gone to school. May your going to school help you with your singing. Or if you want to sweep the street, be a good one. You have gone to school, you are satisfied on
Oh my
anything else you
God.
want to do.
All these
That's
years,
their attitude.
all these years we had always
Eh?
claimed. All these years we had always claimed you to be an alumni of Nsukka. We say, yeah, she's a lioness. Don't tell me that.
I wish. I wish.
Oh my
It's a
God.
very good school.
Okay. So
So,
how did you get into music? I know after school and all that. How did it come
how did
about?
I do what?
Get into the music thing. How did we end up
Music
with?
was in me. Music had been in me. I was born with it.
Mm,
I was born with it. Well, I started singing at 3 years old with my mom.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just a natural talent, and no one in my family is surprised I'm doing what I'm doing today. In fact, they would have been surprised if I didn't. You know.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was well.
I know I don't want to go into details so that we will have to find the rest in your book.
You have to read the book. Good for you.
Because I know this is not how you would normally answer, but now when I ask you, you're like, yes, so it's well.
Yeah. I'll just be
Go and read the
good
book.
for you. Chapter after chapter after chapter. Hey, I have read the book. Yes, it's still the everything to me. I don't know what I touched on my phone and it's on my head. So I know the trick. Oh, but you forget that I'm a journalist. That's what you forget. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
I've tried now. I've tried.
You try. No. You have really tried. I'm so grateful for all the things you've allowed us into. And honestly, I saw a picture with your two beautiful boys, and I'm like, oh my God, that was the first time I've seen them. I didn't know they were that grown up. You have done so well in every aspect. I'm beginning to wonder, is there something you didn't do well? Like you're a very good mother, you brought up two beautiful kids, you've done well as a
Three. I have three.
Oh, three.
I have three boys.
Oh, wow.
The middle one is my nephew.
Oh,
The
really?
middle one is my nephew, but yeah, I took him when he was 18 months.
Okay.
And so I have three boys, yes.
Okay, so tell us about
My
them.
brother's son is, oh, they're wonderful. They don't like being talked about. They're very private people. I tried in my book. I had to ask for their permission,
Okay.
of course, which they granted me. But they're very private people, but they're very interesting young men, and I'm proud of them. They're hardworking. They don't want you to know who their mother is. They don't want the name to make way for them. In fact, you will not know. It's when you now get to know them in their own right.
Yes.
So, why didn't you why should I be telling you? It's just my mom.
I
And they don't
know.
use my name for any of that. They are independent-minded,
Yes.
and that is the way it has always been. And I'm proud of them.
I can imagine. And we're
Very
proud of you.
them.
We're so
Yeah.
proud of you. You said
Thank you.
you said you always thought it wasn't the right time to talk about your relationship. I'm not asking you to talk about your relationship because you obviously talked about it in your book. But
Yes, I did.
again, Auntie Onyeka, I am full of gratitude that you made my dream come true. Now I'm going to call all my secondary school mates and I'll tell them that I told you people it was me and Onyeka one on one. You see?
Oh my God.
So thank you so much. Thank you for revealing to us what people would normally have to pay to get. But that notwithstanding, everybody go and buy that book. I will post the link and everything up so you get the real cocoa.
Trust me, it's worth
I know.
the read.
I know.
You won't be able to put it down.
I know.
It's just,
I
you
know.
will resonate, you will find something there
I know.
that you can, that resonates with you, that you can say, oh, this happened in my family as well. Oh, this happened. It's
Yeah.
just an incredible, even I find it interesting.
When you were talking in sometime in the interview, you used an expression like, fiam fiam fiam. Did you So when you say,
Gotta be local here.
so are we going to find a lot of such expressions in that book?
Plenty. Oh my God.
Yes. Well, I'm sure a lot of our friends who don't understand it, but I wonder what they'll call me later and say, "Hey, Chidi, what's that fiam fiam fiam?"
No, even when they read it, whether you understand, because when I give an evil expression, I
Yeah.
explain what it is.
Okay,
You will get it. You
wonderful.
will get it because in your own language you must have a similar something
Sure.
that describes the situation aptly.
Yeah, sure. Okay, as we begin to round this interview up, before we got cut off, I was trying to say that you told us that you always thought it wasn't the right time to talk about your relationship, but you felt this was the time, and you wrote about it in your memo. But I was wondering if there is a snippet you want to let
Not
us
on this
into.
one. I will keep you in suspension of this one. You're gonna have to go and get it and read it. I'm not telling you that.
No, I'm not asking you to tell. I'm saying, what are we going to see? Like, you need to, if you tell us something is sweet, you tell us.
You will read it.
No, if you say that something is sweet, you have to tell us what is sweet like. Is it
I
like,
don't have to tell you now. I've told you plenty. Go and read it. This boy is tricky.
Auntie? So okay, let me tell you the questions that people ask. Some people said, Auntie Onyeka married a white man.
Okay. That's okay. They will read it and find out whether it's true or not.
And
Oh my God. I'm laughing so much. Oh.
okay.
Yeah, Konima die. Konima Miriam. Oh yeah. That's one. I've answered the first one. I answered the second one. Explain this one. I'll just put it all together and read it. And don't come over. Oh, this one. And you explain to us.
Okay.
After you read it, then we'll talk.
Okay. And you know, one big regret I have is, but I know since you have promised on live TV, on national TV, you promised you're gonna grant us another interview where we would have you
They
live.
didn't hear that part.
How many years after?
The jumbling of the line, they didn't hear it. they didn't hear that part.
They did. They heard that you're going to grant us an interview once I buy the. After this, I'm going to Amazon. I'm going to buy the book. Then I'll read it. When I finish reading it, we're going to book another interview where you'll come live and people can see you, because everybody's like, Chidi, we wish we could see her. Yes. Awesome.
Because then you will have to give me plenty of notice.
We will. We'll do it properly. I couldn't believe it. At very short notice, you agreed to do this interview. I still remain very grateful. Now, on a closing note, what would you want to say to Nigerians who they are at crossroads now, especially our young people? They don't know if they made a mistake by embarking on the NSAS. They don't know if with the way the federal government has come on them now, they are wondering what's the way forward. And for the Nigerian who is not a youth, they're wondering what should we be doing. Everybody's afraid to talk. Everybody's gagged. Everybody I talk to, they're like, Chidi, man, you don't know how it is here. We can't even talk. We can't post things. We can't comment online. What is your advice? Because you've seen it all. You've been there. What's your advice to Nigerians right now?
I'm not sure that I'm in a position to give anybody advice.
Okay.
You know what you feel inside of you.
Yeah.
You know how committed you are to this project called Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know how committed you are to living a good life, a life of purpose, a life of productivity. Those are the responsibilities you have to yourself. And if it means standing up to speak your truth, then that's what you got to do. May God protect us. May God keep us. May He strengthen us. But God is going to use this young generation of Nigerians to turn this country around. I am so sure of it. The world will marvel at Nigeria, because this country, oh my goodness, it's not about the oil or the gold or whatever is hidden. It's the human resources that we have. Our people, every part of the world, every country of the world, they are making waves in different walks of life, in different callings and professions. They are the top of their game. Only in our country, Abba. We've got to let Nigerian young people thrive and shine and be the best that they can do. That's got to change. There's no two ways about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Auntie Onyeka.
Be strong, be strong, be strong, be prayerful, be purposeful. I know that our young people are not violent people. They didn't start the violence. They knew nothing about the violence. We know the truth. We saw it all unfold. Don't kid us. That violence was poverty weaponized. Be strong. We don't know what God wants to do with Nigeria. But whatever it is, I want to be in God's will, not in man's. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Remember that you have the support of people like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have my support. You have my support. Anybody who's fighting for this country has my support.
Good.
Who's fighting for good, decent living. We're hard-working people. You have my support. We're not beggy people. I'm not going around begging for anything. I just want an opportunity to work and give my best.
That's right.
So long as you have that as your purpose, you will achieve. And no, there's no mistake that was made here. You shook up the world for us. We needed to be shaken up.
Good.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really want to
everybody.
thank you again. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
God
bye
bless.
bye.
Take care.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right.
So guys, that was Onyeka Onwenu with us there. All we have to do right now is, you heard what she said, live a purposeful life. Don't be afraid to speak up your mind. Don't be afraid to follow your heart, okay? As long as what you're doing is for the good of every other person, you will still win. And she's made us know that people like her are in support of whatever is going on out there. You need to go and read up her book. You need to, in fact, let me put up the book again. I saw that book and it drew my attention to her again, and I reached out to her, even though I've been trying forever to connect, but that book was like, it was timely. It came at the right time. So we always like to support people who are doing something to bring about a change in our country, and people who have paid their dues. She has paid her dues, and so I'll advise you to go read that book. At a time like this, we need stuff like this to inspire us, and we must continue to respect. That's another thing I want to say. A lot of us just think that the only way we can do activism right now is by being disrespectful to people who have been there long before us. No, that's not what to do. Right now, when you're confused, when you don't know what to do, you need to go back and read up people who have been there, people who have seen it all. You need to go and see the videos that she did, and you will see that they understood what the problem was, and they kept talking about it from a long time ago. So that's why you must not push aside those who have been there all this while. Just go and read up about them. If we didn't have this interview, a lot of you will not even know that Onyeka has been there. She has done so many things. You just see that, or just think she's a singer. No. she's been deep in activism. Because of what she's done, she's not been invited into a lot of positions, and she didn't even care. She's not living like a multi-billionaire, even though she has every opportunity to live like that. But because of the standards that she believes in, because of the battles she's fought, because of how she has used her journalism skill, she has lived a life which today is an inspiration to a lot of people like me. Okay, so when you see that I sing, I act, I do activism, now you begin to understand that there were people that went ahead of us to do all of those things. You see people like Omoyele Shore. Instead of you antagonizing, criticizing, you need to go and learn more about them. On this note, I would like to thank every one of you who joined us on this interview. You heard as Auntie Onyeka has, or Madam Onyeka, or Onyeka Onwenu, however you choose to address her. You heard her promise that she's going to come back on this channel. By then, would have given her enough notice, and we would have her live, not just through audio call. So I'd like to thank you for being on this program, and from all of us in the Toronto studios of Worship Media, on behalf of Dr. Erica, my name is Chidi. Please take care of yourself and remain blessed. We love you. Bye-bye.